Outer success does not always equal inner peace. Outer success does not always equate to inner peace. You know, we live in a comparison based society. Everybody is comparing themselves to the next person. It's even interesting when you think about like the psychology of money. I believe Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money, one of the things that's emphasized there is that people's comfort financially is not based on a dollar figure, but it's the dollar figure relative to everyone else around you, right? There's a famous statement that says you are an average of the five people you spend the most time with, right? Again, comparison is the thief of joy. And we have to remember that outer success does not always equate to inner peace. It's a fascinating concept, right? And I was watching a YouTube video, and Chris Williamson, like he's pretty popular across the various channels. He made a statement about that, and it really made me think. I want to share it with you, and then let's chat about it a second, okay?
People who have the least desirable internal states have some of the most desirable external lives, and that paradox will never cease to fascinate me. I think it's so fucking interesting.
The most least desirable internal characteristics typically result in some of the most desirable external characteristics. Outer success doesn't always equate to inner peace. And if you study extremely high performers, I'm talking about the ones that go down as the GOATs, right? The best of the best, the all everything, all pro, Hall of Fame, whatever, right? The top business leader, the people who just rewrote history in a particular segment. If you really pay attention to their life and really study what we know about their life, there was a lot of torment that went on, right? People always talk about being at the very apex of anything, being at the pinnacle of anything. It's a lonely place to be because not a lot of people can understand your walk. Not a lot of people can understand and or identify with your journey. So therefore, it's a lonely place. The other part to it is to get to a particular level, it requires at times a level of obsession that most people would deem just not normal, like a maniacal focus on being the best, where honestly, if you think about it, everything in life is a trade-off. I believe the economist Thomas Sowell made that pretty popular. Everything in life is a trade-off. So therefore, if you're maniacally focused on being the absolute best in a particular category, something else is going to suffer. That's just reality, right? If you're have a maniacal level of focus and obsession with business success, are you able to manage a successful marriage? Are you able to be a present and available father? Are you able to, be the model neighborhood citizen, etc.? Like whatever the thing is, something is going to suffer because there's a trade-off there. But Chris Williamson's quote or his statement on the internal state of a lot of really elite performers being kind of challenged is an interesting one because it really highlights the fact that you're going to sacrifice something, one, but then two, the real question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to put it all on the line for a particular level of success? Or you might be a person that realizes that, listen, I'm going to lean into my gifts, my talents, my skills, the opportunity that's, presented to me, but I'm going to stop short of disrupting these areas of my life. When I'm working with clients, we talk a lot about scheduling your values, not necessarily just valuing your schedule. But what scheduling your values really emphasizes is that you put a hierarchy in place of the things that are most important to you, and you start there. There are some things in your life that are non-negotiable, no matter what the consequence is, right? And so, that being said, when it comes to high level performance, outward success, are you willing to sacrifice your inner peace to get that? Some are willing, right? Depending on each individual's, value structure or their hierarchy of values, they may look at it in which is success and nothing else. And I'm willing to sacrifice everything to get it. That might be the perspective of someone. I'm not here to judge, but we have to be mindful of every decision has benefits and has consequences, right? Every decision that we make, there are trade offs. In spite or despite the fact that you may have an abundance of resources and connections and access, even then, you're going to have to make choices, and everything is not going to get your time, resources, and attention. It's impossible, even if you had limitless resources, right? Because time is not limitless. There's only one of you. Now, we can jump into the whole technological scenario with AI and digital twins and what the future looks like when you can kind of deploy versions of yourself to various tasks. I get it, but the reality still remains the same. There are always going to be trade-offs. But the question is, what are you willing to trade off? What are you willing to sacrifice with the thing that you're walking towards? Those are questions that we have to ask. And again, we'll play again this quote from Chris Williamson. Take a listen to it.
People who have the least desirable internal states have some of the most desirable external lives, and that paradox will never cease to fascinate me. I think it's so fucking interesting.
So again, we have to be mindful of the comparisons that are out there. We have to be mindful of the fact that comparison is a thief of joy, because what we compare ourselves to on the outside, there might be a totally different conversation or thing going on the inside that we are not aware of. Remember, anything that you see about a person that's public, somebody made that public. Sometimes what you see may look casual, but that's a very contrived narrative. That is a very structured narrative that's been presented to tell a particular story, meaning you might not be getting, or I'll guarantee you're not getting, the whole picture. All right. So as we move forward, be careful not to compare to other people, because the reality is your journey is your journey. What's special for you is special for you. What was created and designed for you cannot be denied, but you shouldn't desire something that was not designed for you. So figure out what it is you're supposed to do and go do it at a high level, but always be mindful of the decisions that you're making, because every decision, there are trade-offs. Y'all be blessed, well, and wise. Go be the quarterback of your mindset. I'll holla at you. Peace.